Given the actual weakness of the much-vaunted and overhyped Boris bounce in the UK, it always had the look of another false dawn for the struggling domestic economy. There have been plenty of such false dawns in the near decade that the Conservatives have been in power. On Budget Day, it seems apposite to remember former Chancellor George Osborne's vision in March 2011 of a Britain carried aloft by the march of the makers. Whatever happened to that? There has been plenty more bigging up of the UK economy by the Tories over the years, but the reality has been that it has been a dismal decade. We should also reflect on Budget Day on the fact that UK public sector net debt has surged from about £1 trillion when the Conservatives came to power in 2010 to more than £1.8 trillion. We have heard a lot since mid-December about the Boris bounce. To be fair to Boris Johnson, this phrase has been spouted a lot by external commentators, as opposed to coming from the mouth of the Prime Minister. However, it is important to realise this so-called bounce, in the wake of Mr. Johnson's decisive majority in the December general election, was only viewed by economists as equating to quarterly growth of about 0.2%. This is, in a historical context and to put it mildly, no great shakes. And all of this before the continuing impasse between the UK and European Union over a future trade agreement began to manifest itself again, as it has done within the last fortnight. The unfolding global human tragedy of the COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak has quite rightly been at the forefront of many people's minds. The knock-on impact on economies and financial markets has also been in focus. This has meant the latest revelations about the scale of the differences between the UK and our long-suffering EU neighbours have figured less prominently than would have been expected under normal circumstances. In short, the restart of negotiations between the UK and EU last week seems to have gone pretty badly, even taking into account the normal posturing and bargaining positions in such talks. There seems, at a basic level, to be a simple lack of cordiality from the UK side. This is in keeping with the tough talk on Europe from Mr. Johnson and his advisor, Dominic Cummings. What seems to be becoming ever plainer is that Mr. Johnson and his government want to push the EU as far away as possible, while still benefiting from some kind of trade relationship. The UK government seems at pains to avoid following EU rules, at times giving the impression that this is an ideological stance removed from consideration of the quality of the regulations or the potential benefits of following them. It has also signalled a lack of appetite for an extensive treaty on defence and security with the EU. Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Co. For more on this story, visit the news article link.